Welcome to Turf Talk. This is episode 22 with Matt and
Casey.
And today it is sometime in May. We're finishing up round 2. We're getting ready to start round 3. And we're seeing a lot of differences in the weather. And we have some other people with us back here. And Casey is going to introduce you to.
This is Keon. Keon is our newest addition here to Green's Lawn Care. Keon joined us this year, and he's going to be one of the turf experts that's going to come out and treat your property. Behind us, many of you will know this face. This is Jeff. We have a lot of new customers this year, so I do want you guys to meet our guys. Know that they're there to help you out. They're the experts that you need to help you have the best lawn on the block. And these guys do such a great job. We just got a compliment today. Guys had 2 applications, and already our technicians have got his lawn looking better than any other company that he's ever hired. So these guys right here, put your trust in them, listen to their advice, ask them all the questions that you have, and know that they're going to take great care of you. These are your friends in the turf business.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, see you round 3.
That's right, round 3 starts on Friday, right?
Friday, we will start round 3 applications. We're a little behind. Rain in round 2 kind of slowed things down for us a little bit. We had some very wet weather at the first part of May, so we're kind of playing catch up a little bit, but we are moving into round 3. We're still right on time for that grub application though, Matt. Grubs are going to start becoming active end of May, 1st of June. That's when we really start to see them moving around subsurface. So we're going to get that grub application down right on time. We're going to take care of those grubs for you, make sure that you're not seeing damage in August and September when things are hot and dry. Yeah.
So round 3 starts this Friday. So we're filming this. It's Wednesday right now. So a couple days. It's going to be Friday when we start this. And round 3, there's always every single year. The same thing happens right around the start of round 3. And you've probably noticed throughout the whole spring, your grass is super dark green. It looks really nice. And there's 3 contributing factors to that. One, the weather. So it's been, so there's been a lot of rain. So that's one thing. We need water to make your grass green and make it grow.
Cool nights.
We need the temperatures a little lower, so it's been nice and cool. It's been kind of abnormally cold through the springtime, even through May. It's been kind of abnormally cold as opposed to the previous couple years. And then that third thing is definitely the nutrition in the lawn, so the fertilizer and what you're actually doing to the lawn. And unfortunately, moving into round 3, 2 of the 3 of those things are going to be non-existent for the most part. We're still going to feed your lawn. It's going to get great nutrition, but there's going to be some changes in the weather. So Casey, can you kind of tell all of our viewers what those changes specifically for water requirements, so the rain, and then the temperatures, what are we going to be looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Matt said, we've had great weather for grass growing. We've had really cool nights. We've had mild days, low 80s, mid 70s, great grass weather. As we approach next week, the first week of June, what we're going to see is we're actually going to see the first 90-degree days that we've had this year, Wednesday and Thursday. And what we're going to see is nighttime temperatures are also going to increase. So what that does is it increases the evaporation that's taking place in the soil. Your soil is not going to retain moisture like it has been. That means watering requirements are going to go up. What we do here at Green's Lawn Care, we have these fancy rain gauges. Thank you. Couldn't spit that out. And your technician is going to bring this around round 3. Every lawn will get one of these. If you've already got one, maybe it's in bad shape, we'll replace it. If not, make sure you guys are using these. And what you want to do is every time you water, you want to get about half of this cup full. And you want to do that twice a week. That's going to make sure your lawn stays nice and green. Now, I understand some of you don't have irrigation systems. You got big lawns. You got busy schedules, whatever. It's not really efficient in your lifestyle to go out and move the hose around a lot. If you're getting half of this full every week, that'll keep the lawn fair. You're still going to see some browning. You're going to see a slowed rate of growth. The lawn's not going to be 100% like it has been all spring, but it will keep it from going dormant. Now, if you don't water at all, your lawn's going to turn brown. It's just the nature of the beast. It's what's going to happen. But
and if you're up in Hamilton County or some of the surrounding counties, you're in a new build, that clay is going to turn into concrete.
Yes, it is. It's going to be hard.
It's going to be very hard for those roots to actually flourish when that ground is almost like concrete.
Yeah.
And so that gets us into another point. We got the hot days. We're going to be lacking rain. So two other things. So we definitely want to use the rain gauges, and that's something that's very unique to Green's Lawn Care. I can guarantee you there's not another company that gives those out. And if they do, it's because they saw that we started doing it. When we started doing the rain gauges, nobody else in the industry did it in our area. And so we do that so then we can help you get the best lawn that you possibly can. If you're wondering if your lawn is receiving enough water, one super simple thing that you can do, take a Phillips head screwdriver and try and put it into the ground. And if it doesn't easily push into the ground, that means that your lawn is not getting enough water. And if you also don't have an irrigation system that's totally cool, if you search our YouTube channel, there is a video that I made a number of years ago on how to make what I call a redneck irrigation system. Just put your hoses together, you have a couple heads on both ends of the hose, and then you can hook it up to your spigot and put a timer on there. These timers are like $40. You can buy them at Lowe's, Home Depot, heck, you could probably buy them on Amazon.
Yep.
And it's super simple, just follow the instructions in that video, and you can set up an irrigation system, quote unquote, for next to nothing, and you don't have to mess with it all the time. You only got to move it one time a week when you're having to mow. So the other thing, if you do have a lot of clay, that goes into another product that we have that is 100% unique to us, and we call it our clay soil program. And it's going to go in and help break down that clay and turn it into more topsoil consistency. It's not going to turn it into topsoil, but it's going to give it that consistency. So at my house personally, I live in Noblesville.
Glad you brought this up. I was going to make you bring it up.
It is clay as clay can be, and it's hard as a rock in the summertime. But we actually installed a fence last week. And so when the guy came out to dig all the holes, he had an auger. And if you've ever dug in clay, you know that that stuff comes out clumps, and it's very heavy. So when this guy used his auger and he brought it back up, and the soil's coming out, it moved just like topsoil. I was a little surprised at how well it moved out. And we've been on the clay soil program for 2 years, 2 seasons at my house. And so that is a huge visual difference that made. It was very surprising. I knew that it was did it really good, but we didn't know that the soil was going to turn that much like topsoil this fast.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works, Matt. And you know, a lot of things are going on there. You know, you're getting fracturing in the clay. It's becoming less hydrophobic. You're drawing in the natural air fires that are kind of boring through that clay and trying to get to those microbes that we're introducing. You're getting composting at the soil level. All of that's adding up to become greatly beneficial to a clay lawn and really help keep it healthy, transform it over time into a lawn that just retains health and stays beautiful all year long.
So I think that pretty much covers everything that we need to talk about for the lawn care side. And now coming and talking about pest control, big things right now, number one thing is mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Like mosquitoes, they like warmer temperatures, and we're getting those warmer temperatures now. We're starting to see more mosquito activity. So if you like to spend time outside, your kids like to spend time outside, even around a fire or just on your patio or playing fetch or whatever, we can help you out. And a big thing that we stress is pollinators and the bee population. And we understand that there's a happy medium on what you spray to get rid of mosquitoes. And there's a lot of companies that spray a lot of the wrong stuff. And that's why it's affecting the bee population. And if you really study plants and pests, the bees and the mosquitoes, they don't hang out at the same place. So if you're killing bees with mosquito spray, your company is doing it wrong. So we don't want to spray, like there's no reason to spray anything that's blooming because mosquitoes don't live there. No, they take harborage in, you know, the shrubs that are leafy green, so your privets and your burning bushes and things like that, your boxwoods and your yews and arborvitaes and things like that. And bees have they don't want to be there because there's nothing for them to eat. There's no pollen. And so if your company is doing it right, there's no harm to the bees. We're not going to kill any bees. We are targeting mosquitoes and mosquitoes only.
That's correct. Not only that, Matt, but you guys are going to come out and they're going to inspect your property. They're not just going to come out and spray a bunch of pesticides. They're going to look at your property. They're going to identify areas that might be causing problems with mosquitoes. They're going to look at your gutters. They're going to look at your flower pots, anything that might be holding water. They're going to give you advice on what you need to do as a customer to help eliminate some of the breeding sources and help reduce the number of mosquito populations in your area so that the products that we're putting out are even more effective.
Yeah. And we're still doing our pet lover program. So that's our flea and tick program. We do our perimeter sprays where we also de-web your eaves and soffits and things like that. But a couple other new services would be our moles and our voles. So our moles and voles active at the moment?
They're still active, Matt. What you're going to notice though is you're not going to see the damages readily. The ground is much harder now, so the moles are going deeper where the ground's moist, it's soft, they can dig much more readily. The earthworms are going to be moving down there as well. So they're going to follow those earthworms. The earthworms like a T-bone steak to a mole. So that's where they're going to be. You're not going to see as much damage. You still might. You might have some damage, but it's not going to be as prevalent. If you notice it, give us a call. We'll come out. We'll work with you. We can still get rid of those moles.
And will they become more prevalent again as we get to the fall time?
As we get to the fall, they will move closer to the soil surface, and we'll see a lot more damage. And it'll especially be noticeable because grass will still be stressed out from summer heat. So anywhere that a mole is kind of digging through, you're going to see brown patches look like little lightning bolts in the lawn. So.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to cover?
There is, Matt. There's one more thing I wanted to cover, and it's just to reiterate the watering. According to the National Weather Service, we are right on the verge of a very severe kind of drought condition. They're already seeing those conditions over in northeastern Illinois. That's just going to move this way as we move into June. If weather patterns do not change, watering is just going to be so much more important. I can't stress enough to you customers how important this watering is going to be this year. If you want to keep that lawn looking great, if you want a nice green lawn, make sure you get that hose out at least once a week and get that lawn a drink. It's going to be very thirsty this year.
Yeah. And if you can't do it every day, that's totally fine. Put it out once a week and leave it out for a longer period of time so that water can really seep deep down into the soil. That is much better than hitting it every single day.
Yeah,
okay?
one deep root watering a week promotes deeper rooting in the grass. It's going to create more moisture in the soil. That's going to last longer. It's not going to evaporate out as quickly. Water, water, water. That's going to be the mantra for round 3.
Awesome. Well, that's it for Turf Talk this episode, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you on the lawn.